on. Yep. It's that time again. It's that time again. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the hottest podcast in Austin, Texas, the Brain Matter Morning Show. Brought to you in part by Brain Matter Studios and Stop Hating Productions. So good morning, good motivational Monday to everybody out there. First and foremost, before I get started, I want to thank the Lord above for allowing me to do what I'm capable of. So, shots out to the Lord this morning. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right off into it. Today is Motivational Monday. So what we do here on the Brain Matter Morning Show, we try to motivate, inspire, and dedicate effort to the growth and development of oneself and one's community. So the motivational message that I have this morning, it was a deep one. It came to me this weekend. You know what I'm saying? And the way it came to me in the form of a young brother, right? And he stopped by the studio because he usually stops by the studio maybe once a week, twice a week, just check on me, see how I'm doing. Oh, what's going on? What's good? Whatever. And he was talking to me, and we were drinking on some Ciroc, and what I'm saying? It's Saturday morning, we get things going for the studio. We just chop it, have a good time, and then the conversation just flipped out of nowhere. Then he got real deep. And then he also said the message that I got. He said it's called the Ken Cardwell theory. And it says, you sit in shit too long, you stop smelling it. If you stop smelling it, it's a bad thing. Now, most people that's listening to this podcast this morning, that kind of motivation right there, see, that didn't come from, what I'm saying, it did sound all good. Well, you know how most people try to, make it sound all good. And, what I'm saying, it came from like a high place or somebody with high, fuck all that. It's just some real shit. If you sit in shit too long, you stop smelling it. If you stop smelling it, it's a bad thing. What that means is things that you allow to happen in your motherfucking life. If you don't tend to take care of that shit, like right then, you stop smelling it. And then you stop smelling it, you get used to it. And you get used to it, it starts to deteriorate and decay all the growth and development, not only for you, but the people around you. But it was the way that he said it. You know what I'm saying? And maybe one day this week or next week, whenever I can get back in contact with him, we're going to do the same thing we did this Saturday. But this time, we're going to do a live show because I want him to come on and we can sit down and we can, so we could talk about that. Because at his age, at 24, I'm 41, people above my age, and even older than my father, as far as men, should have that kind of consensus about life. And when he came in, he started talking about it. You instantaneously, all the radios, all the music, everything went off. So we could hear this young brother speak. So that's my motivation for Monday. It's called the Ken Cardwell theory. We're going to explain it later. But you sit in shit too long, you stop smelling. If you stop smelling, it's a bad thing. So take care of your shit. All right, moving right along. It wasn't very interesting, but it was a very entertaining divisional playoff weekend with some predictions seem to go the other way. As far as the Eagles and the Giants, I feel they got out there and paralyzed. You know what I'm saying? Just paralyzed their ass. 38-7. You know what I'm saying? And then Patrick Mahomes in the other game, he got hurt, came back out there, played, and they won. Then you flip over to yesterday's games. The beating in Buffalo. That's what I'm calling it this morning. The beating in Buffalo. Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals rolled in to Orchard Park with no sleeves and no gloves, played as a team and dismantled the Buffalo Bills in Orchard Park on their field. Just dismantled them. Just picked them apart in the cold. So impressive victory to the Cincinnati Bengals for making it to the AFC, you know what I'm saying, conference final. Now let's go over candlestick Paul. Let's go out there for a minute. The game between the Cowboys and the 49ers. Now, I'm not holding just one person to the accountability or the reason why the Cowboys are. I'm speaking from a collective sense. What happened? What happened, man? What happened? I mean, both defenses were gridlocked. But how was it the 49ers was able to eke out and squeeze out those points and Dallas couldn't? How? Well, result of that, 49ers are going to the NFC Championship to face off against the Philadelphia Eagles. And we have the Kansas City Chiefs, the Cincinnati Bengals in the AFC Championship. So next weekend will be an explosive weekend. So tune in to the Brain Matter Morning Show first and foremost, because this is the hottest podcast in Austin, Texas. And tune in to this weekend as we get into the AFC NFC Championship. All right, that's my sports segment. Now, what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about the other side of maintaining your composure, because last show I talked about the execution of maintaining your composure and how you can overcome and how you can do great things. But today, which ties into the Ken Cardwell theory, we're going to talk about fuckery. Oh yes, the other side, maintaining your composure. See, this is a conversation for, it ain't for everybody, but it's only for the ones that listen. So check it. And before I get started, I want to give a special shout out this moment. A special shout out this moment to Pam Jones, the owner and founder of Jones, and Mo Jones Consultants. Got to give a special shout out to her this moment. Special shout out. Because not only does she help you with financial and economical situations and circumstances in your life, she also helps you to cope and deal with the fuckery that goes on around you and in your life. Special shout out this morning, Pam Jones and Jones, and Mo Jones Consulting, which is now a new affiliate of the Brain Matter Morning Show. So she's setting up shop, and in the future, I will have her on the show. So y'all tune in and be patient with the morning show, because y'all know how we do. We've been doing this for 3 seasons. Y'all know I always deliver when I say something. So y'all be on the lookout for that. But I just wanted to get that out. And also, let me give a shout out to Own Me Security. You know what I'm saying? That's also ran by her son. You know what I'm saying? He has a security agency, which is another affiliate of Brain Matter Morning Show. So, shouts out to the affiliation. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right off into it. Let's talk about the fuckery. What is fuckery? Fuckery is an activity that goes on right in front of your face, but it presents itself behind your back. Oh, a lot of people when I said that. So I will repeat it for the ones that didn't hear me this morning. Fuckery is an activity that goes on right in front of your face, but it presents itself behind your back. Now, I want you to think about this for a second. You know, sometimes when you get that feeling and you feel like something ain't right, 9 times out of 10, it's not. It's not right. So what you have to do is once this type of activity presents itself, and I'll tell you a couple of telltale signs, you know that fuckery is going on. You might feel it, but you can't see it, but I'll let you know. Give you some tips. You can recognize kind of stuff. But it's the activity that goes on, that does say it go right in front of your face, but it presents itself and behind your back. Now, having this kind of power, it comes with a lot of attributes and skill sets, but a part of you, a part of you is something that, a part of you gonna have to free yourself from certain things in order for you to see this kind of activity going on. I get into that later. But yeah, being able to cope and deal with that when shit, shit ain't right. Can't be naive with this kind of shit. But when you be naive with it, it gets worse. In denial. And for those who know who that's following the Brain Matter Morning Show, you know that denial is a disease. It's a straight disease. So when you deny shit, you don't try shit. And see, it takes a lot of it don't really take much. Because I was talking to my co-host this morning and she told me, man, just speak what's on your mind. Just say how you feel. See, that's what authenticates you from other podcasts. The shit that you talk about. These are real life issues that people go through and people want to hear about this kind of stuff. It's just now in 23, people want a lot of things that are solution based when they go through these kind of things. Then that's what you get here. Now, how do you detect fucking? Communication. Number one. Listen for like turn. You know what I'm saying? With 2 people, 3 people. If everybody's saying the same thing, it's a fuckery going on. See, I discovered that last week with 2 people that I thought that I loved and I trust. So the common similarity of the fuckery that I discovered, it came through communication. But what I did something different. I split the opposition. Instead of me allowing my ego, to trick me out of position that I'm in, I deferred and I went the other way because I had the nobleness to be able to look over and see what was going on the other side instead of being blinded by what's right there in front of me, which was the fucker. See, It takes a lot of that's some mature shit. And I always talk about this all the time on the show. We talk about humility. In humility, I was talking to a brother the other day, and I was telling him we was talking about humility. And humility, the hardest part of humility is not believing. Hold on, I'll have. And we was talking about humility. The hardest part of humility is not believing in what God says about you over anybody else's opinion and your own. The other part is unreservedly elevate you. That's not the hardest part. But the hardest part of humility is having the ability to free yourself from your own ego. And that is some hard shit, B. Especially when you know that the fuckery presents itself in a way to where you can show and hold motherfuckers accountable for their action individually and collectively. And even though you get done wrong, do you have the ability to free yourself from your own ego? Can you free yourself from your own ego? To be like, you know what, fuck it. I'll let them have it. Or I'll let this be what it is. Or even though through the perception of mediocre mind, you might look like, oh, you get talked of, did that in the third, but you have enough nobleness and composure to not even let that type of shit bother you. That's a hard thing to do. Many men fall every day because they can't free themselves from their ego. And I ain't gonna lie, ain't cry, I'll tell you straight up. At one point in my life, I had a fucked up ego. But then I changed the way I thought about things. I changed my process, made me a better person. So really and truly what I'm trying to say, when it comes to fuckery, the best way to cure it is to look bad and win. Now through the perception of mediocre mind, what do people doing to you? It might look good and it might look like you losing, but that ain't nothing but an illusion because it's better to look bad and win than to look good and lose. And a lot of men, especially black men, walk around with their chests all out like they just so tough as fuck and they just this and that and the third and trick yourself off the street or out of your situation. Because you can free yourself from your ego. Because you rather look good and look nice. But for all of the black men that's a part of the masses, we know this type of shit. Don't give a damn how humiliating or embarrassing it look to other people. Man, fuck other people. Especially if they ain't doing shit for you. The fuck you worry about what they think anyway. See, not only freeing yourself from your own ego will help you maintain your composure through the fuckery, you free yourself from a whole lot of other shit, that bullshit, that low energy, You know what I'm saying? That stale ass vibration when you got good ideas and you trying to help and motherfuckers just want to stay stuck in the same situation they in. Just like that boy Theory said. You when you sit in shit too long, you start smelling it. And when you start smelling it, it's a bad thing because you don't got used to it. It all ties to fucking together. It all ties to fucking together. And in this day and age, when it's all said and done, when it's all said and done, the majority of men can't say that they didn't have a chance. Can't say you didn't have a chance now because that time up moment is right around the corner. It's right around the corner. So you think about that when you out here fucking over people. And that's my message for today, y'all. Do the fucking. Listen out for the communication, like I said. Combine like terms like you do when we do it May. If you got two motherfuckers and they saying the same shit to try to prove a point, it's some fuckery going on. So don't allow these people to get out here and mislead you and make you think they down for you when they really ain't. And I'm not speaking from personal experience, well, kind of, in a sense, but I'm speaking from general sense. Just a general conversation of wisdom and knowledge that I've understood over the years. I'm 41 years old, and I just recently realized how the world actually works. Fuckery plays a big part in it. But just because fuckery is going on, don't mean you got to fuck. You stick to your guns, you stick to your principles, you stick to your morals, your values, your concepts, and you don't break the damn motherfucker. I don't give a fuck how good what they doing, how good it might look, or how tempted it is. You stick to your gun, you stick to your principles. You be who the fuck you are. And I guarantee you, you'll get through the fucker. So thank all my listeners, followers, family, and friends, if any, for allowing me the privilege to take up some of y'all time. Somebody had to speak this kind of shit, and I don't mind doing it. I'm gonna give a shout out to King Cardwood this morning, stopping by the studio Saturday and sitting down and giving me that revelation that I need to hear on manhood. And like I told him, I paid homage to that. I marinate on that, and I teach that. I'm gonna give a shout out to Jones and Mo Jones Consulting for being an affiliate of the Brain Matter Morning Show along with On Me Securities. So before I get out of here this morning, I'm hearing a lot about a lot of people going through mental illness. So what we got to do, we got to continue to fight. Because mental illness pops up every day out of nowhere. And it's tailor made. Anybody can go through it. So as a human, I give a part of myself and a part of my studio and a part of my devotion and a part of my time to sit down and help people cope so we can deal with this type of stuff. But we can't keep turning a blind eye to it. Tell people all the time, I care. Even if it ain't a damn thing I can do about it but care, I do. So I hope that helps you. Y'all be good, be blessed, less stressed, stay hydrated, stay motivated, but most of all, stay together. It's Motivational Monday. If that's not anything else, we'll see y'all Wednesday morning, which is Wisdom Wednesday. As I get this show back up and back on track where it need to be, I want y'all to be reminded of something. Strength is not given, it's grown. I leave y'all with that quote right there. Y'all be good. We'll see y'all Wednesday morning. Aircraft Crowley, signing off.